Welcome to Cults and Secret Societies. I'm your host, Ben Carter. Under the cover of darkness, cloaked figures gathered in secret, their faces hidden behind intricate masks. The flicker of torchlight cast dancing shadows over the stone walls of the ancient temple, illuminating the eerie carvings that adorned its surface. In the center, an altar draped in crimson stood ominously, its purpose chillingly clear. This was the domain of the Thuggis, a shadowy cult that thrived in India around the 14th century. The Thuggis, or deceivers as they were aptly named, were worshippers of the goddess Kali, the Hindu deity of death and destruction. Their belief system centered around the notion that the world was inherently corrupt, and the only way to cleanse it was through ritual sacrifice. A disturbing doctrine, it was their ticket to spiritual redemption. But to understand the Thuggis, we must first delve into the complex world of ancient Hinduism. The religion, known for its rich pantheon of deities and intricate folklore, is far from monolithic. The Thuggis represented a dark offshoot, an extremist interpretation of the religion's teachings. The Thuggis believed that Kali demanded blood, and they were more than willing to supply it. Their victims were chosen with care, often travelers they befriended, and then betrayed in the most horrific manner. The method of killing was strangulation, using a sacred cloth known as a rumal. The victim's last breath was believed to be a gift to Kali, a sacred offering to appease her wrath. But as we delve deeper into the Thuggi cult, it becomes clear that their motivations weren't merely religious. The Thuggis were also a highly organized criminal network. Their murders often served a dual purpose, a religious obligation, and a convenient means to rob their victims. A chilling combination of religious fanaticism and cold-blooded thievery. Yet despite their brutal practices, the Thuggis were not ostracized. They moved freely within society, their identities secret, their deeds shrouded in darkness. It was this secrecy that allowed them to thrive, to grow into one of the most feared secret societies in history. The Thuggis' reign of terror would eventually come to an end in the 19th century under British colonial rule. But their legacy still haunts the annals of history, a grim reminder of the human capacity for violence and deceit in the name of faith and redemption. In this exploration of ancient cults, we're not just uncovering the darker chapters of human history. We're unraveling the complex tapestry of belief systems, the power of religion, and the lengths people are willing to go in their pursuit of spiritual fulfillment. The Thuggis, for all their infamy, are a testament to that. A chilling testament, but a testament nonetheless. Shifting our focus from the Indian subcontinent, we turn to a civilization that thrived nearly 2,500 years ago in the heart of Mesoamerica. The Aztecs, a society known for its complex social structure, intricate calendars, and impressive architectural feats, also held a dark fascination with blood and sacrifice. The Aztec civilization emerged around the 13th century in what is now central Mexico. They built their capital, Tenochtitlan, on an island in Lake Texcoco. It was a city of grandeur and complexity, with a population that may have exceeded 200,000, making it one of the largest cities in the world at that time. Yet, beneath the city's glittering surface lay a belief system steeped in blood and sacrifice. The Aztecs worshipped a pantheon of gods, each demanding their own form of tribute. The most fearsome among them was Huitzilopochtli, the god of sun and war. According to Aztec mythology, it was Huitzilopochtli who guided the Aztecs to their new homeland. In return, he demanded an ongoing supply of human blood to fuel his battles against the forces of night and chaos. This belief in the need to nourish the gods was not unique to the Aztecs. Many ancient Mesoamerican cultures practiced some form of human sacrifice. However, the Aztecs took it to unprecedented levels. The scale of their rituals, the elaborate ceremonies, and the sheer number of victims set them apart. The reasons behind these practices were complex and multifaceted. On one level, they were an expression of religious devotion, a means to appease the gods and keep the universe in balance. But they also served a political purpose. The spectacle of human sacrifice demonstrated the power and authority of the Aztec elite, instilling fear and awe in their subjects and rivals. Human sacrifice, in the Aztec context, was more than a mere act of violence. It was a deeply ingrained aspect of their culture and belief system, a sacred duty they believed was essential for the survival of their world. But to us, it remains a stark reminder of the capacity for cruelty and violence that can emerge from the depths of human belief and fear. In our quest to understand these ancient cults, it's crucial to remember that these practices didn't occur in a vacuum. They were a product of their time, shaped by the beliefs, fears, and power dynamics of their respective societies. The Aztecs, like the Thuggis, offer a chilling glimpse into the extremes of human behavior, a testament to the lengths people will go when driven by fear, faith, and the quest for power. While the Aztec Empire is perhaps the most well-known civilization that practiced human sacrifice on a large scale, it was far from the only one. The powerful city-state of Carthage, located in modern-day Tunisia, was another such society. Carthage was founded around the 9th century before the Common Era by the Phoenicians, a seafaring people from the eastern Mediterranean. Over the centuries, it grew into a formidable maritime empire, renowned for its wealth, its navy, and its dominion over the western Mediterranean. But it was also infamous for another reason: the ritualistic sacrifice of children, a practice described and condemned by numerous ancient writers. Diodorus Siculus, a Greek historian from the 1st century before the Common Era, wrote that the Carthaginians offered up their own children, and those who had no children would buy little ones from poor people and cut their throats as if they were lambs or young birds. These chilling accounts suggest that the Carthaginians believed their gods, particularly the supreme deity Baal-Hamon and the goddess Tanit, demanded the ultimate sacrifice. The practice was believed to bring prosperity and protection to the city and its inhabitants. However, the truth remains hotly debated among scholars. Some argue that the child sacrifice claims were propaganda spread by the Romans, who eventually destroyed Carthage in 146 before the Common Era, after a series of brutal wars. Such stories, they argue, were a convenient way to demonize the Carthaginians and justify their destruction. Meanwhile, others point to archaeological evidence, such as the Tophet of Carthage, an ancient burial ground filled with tiny urns containing the charred bones of infants and animals. These artifacts, they argue, provide grim physical evidence to support the written accounts. Regardless of where the truth lies, what is clear is that the belief system of the Carthaginians, like that of the Aztecs and the Thuggis, was closely intertwined with their practices of sacrifice. Their faith justified and mandated these acts, making them not just acceptable, but essential. This is a sobering reminder of the power of belief and the lengths to which it can drive human behavior. As we delve deeper into the history of these societies, we must bear in mind that these were complex cultures with their own values, fears, and beliefs. They were not simply bloodthirsty savages, but people trying to navigate a world filled with uncertainty and danger in the best way they knew how. The sacrifices they made, horrific as they are to us, were their way of making sense of the world and securing their survival. They represent a dark chapter in human history, but also a compelling puzzle for us to unravel as we strive to understand the diverse tapestry of human cultures and the beliefs that bind them together. As we continue to explore the ancient practices of human sacrifice, We now turn a corner into the dimly lit realm of conspiracy theories and hidden agendas. These are stories that go beyond historical record and archaeological evidence, delving into the world of secret societies, clandestine rituals, and covert power struggles. One of the most prominent conspiracy theories concerns the Carthaginians and their alleged continuation of human sacrifices well beyond the period when they were supposedly stopped. Some theorists suggest that the Carthaginians, fearing the wrath of their gods if the sacrifices were to cease, continued the practice in secret. This clandestine operation, they argue, was not just about appeasing their deities, but also about maintaining control over the masses. The sacrifices, it is said, served as a form of psychological warfare, instilling fear and obedience in the populace. From another perspective, some argue that the Romans, known for their political machinations, may have manipulated the narrative about the Carthaginians. They posit that the Romans exaggerated or even fabricated accounts of child sacrifice to justify their conquest and destruction of Carthage. This theory suggests that the Romans used propaganda to depict the Carthaginians as barbaric and inhumane, thereby gaining the moral upper hand. Another theory shifts the focus from the Romans and the Carthaginians to the mysterious cult of Moloch, a deity associated with child sacrifice. According to some conspiracy theorists, the cult of Moloch did not die out with the destruction of Carthage but survived and evolved, influencing societies and cultures throughout history. This theory suggests that the cult of Moloch, operating in the shadows, has been controlling world events, manipulating governments and societies through a network of secret rituals and sacrifices. These theories, while tantalizing in their audacity, are difficult to prove definitively. However, they offer a unique lens through which to view the ancient world and its practices. They force us to question the accepted narratives and to consider the possibility that history, as we know it, may be but a carefully constructed facade. As always, we must approach these theories with both an open mind and a healthy dose of skepticism. While they may challenge our understanding of the past, they also enrich it, adding layers of complexity and intrigue to the story of human civilization. In our exploration of ancient human sacrifice cults, these theories remind us that there is always more to the story than meets the eye. The hidden practices, the secret societies, the unspoken beliefs, they all form part of a larger tapestry that we are only beginning to unravel. As we delve deeper into this fascinating subject, we must remain open to all possibilities, for the truth, as they say, is often stranger than fiction. As we delve into the cryptic world of ancient human sacrifice cults, it's impossible not to mention the symbols, codes, and secret knowledge that these groups employed. These elements served not only as a way to maintain secrecy and power, but also to create a sense of unity among the members, a sense of belonging to something larger than themselves. Consider the cult of Moloch, for instance. This enigmatic entity was often portrayed as a giant metal statue of a man with a bull's head. In its hands, it held a bowl where offerings and sacrifices were made. This bull-headed figure is thought to be a symbol of strength and fertility, embodying the power of the god to whom the sacrifices were made. Another common emblem found among these ancient cults was the pentagram. It is thought to represent the 5 elements: fire, water, air, earth, and spirit, and was often used in rituals and ceremonies. The pentagram was believed to harness the energies of these elements, channeling them for the purpose of the ritual. Then there is the coded language and rituals. The cult of Moloch, for instance, is believed to have employed a complex system of signs and coded language to communicate among its members. This secret language would have been incomprehensible to outsiders, thus ensuring the cult's activities remained clandestine. Rituals, too, played a significant role in these cults. The act of human sacrifice itself was seen as the ultimate offering, a potent symbol of devotion and obedience to the deity. These rituals were often held in secret locations, away from the prying eyes of the uninitiated. It was a way to maintain the sanctity of the event and to uphold the mystery and power that shrouded these cults. However, it's important to remember that our understanding of these symbols and rituals is, at best, speculative. The ancient cults didn't leave behind a comprehensive guide to their practices. Much of what we know is pieced together from archaeological finds, historical records, and a fair amount of conjecture. Yet, despite this ambiguity, or perhaps because of it, these symbols, codes, and secret rituals continue to captivate us. They are a testament to the complexity and depth of human belief systems, a tantalizing glimpse into a world that existed thousands of years ago. They challenge our understanding of the past and invite us to explore the hidden corners of human history, where fact and fiction blur into an enticing tapestry of mystery and intrigue. As we continue our journey into the world of ancient human sacrifice cults, we are reminded that the past is not always as it seems. The secrets it holds may still be waiting to be uncovered, hidden in the symbols and codes of civilizations long gone. Throughout history, there have been numerous attempts to expose the truth about these ancient human sacrifice cults. Many of these attempts have come from historians and archaeologists working tirelessly to unearth the secrets of the past. And yet, for every step they took towards the truth, it seemed that the cults themselves were always one step ahead, leaving behind a trail of deflection, disinformation, and threats. One renowned historian who tried to shed light on these cults was Aemilius Sura, a Roman historian of the 1st century BCE. Sura wrote extensively about the ancient cults, often questioning their practices and their influence over the masses. He tried to reveal the truth, but his efforts were met with resistance from all sides. His works were often dismissed as mere conspiracy theories, and he himself was ostracized by his peers. In his writings, Sura claimed that these cults had infiltrated the highest levels of society, using their influence to deflect attention away from their activities. They were skilled manipulators, he argued, able to twist the truth and spread disinformation to maintain their power. This pattern of deflection and disinformation has been a recurring theme in the history of these cults. They were masters at creating elaborate smokescreens, using coded language and symbols to mislead those who tried to expose them. This not only helped them to evade detection, but also served to deepen the mystery surrounding their practices. There is also evidence to suggest that these cults were not above using threats to silence those who dared to challenge them. Sura, for example, was reportedly threatened multiple times, and some believe that his untimely death may have been the result of his attempts to expose the cults. Again, it's important to remember that much of this information is speculative. The cults did not leave behind a straightforward record of their activities. Instead, we are left with a complex puzzle, a tangled web of symbolism, coded language, and hidden rituals. Piecing together the truth from this puzzle is no easy task, but it is one that historians and archaeologists continue to undertake, driven by a desire to shed light on this dark chapter of human history. As we delve deeper into the world of ancient human sacrifice cults, we are confronted with a narrative that is as elusive as it is fascinating. A narrative that is shrouded in mystery and intrigue, but one that also speaks volumes about the complexities of human belief systems and the lengths that individuals will go to in order to maintain their power. It's a narrative that continues to captivate us, drawing us deeper into the labyrinthine world of the ancient cults. The esoteric, spiritual, and metaphysical beliefs of these ancient cults are as complex and varied as the cultures that spawned them. Many of these belief systems revolved around the concept of death and rebirth, a cycle that was thought to be essential for the continuation of life and the prosperity of the community. One of the most pervasive beliefs among these cults was that of divine authority. They believed that their gods, often associated with nature or celestial bodies, had the power to control the fate of humanity. They saw themselves as mere instruments in the hands of these gods, their actions guided by the divine will. According to some interpretations, these cults believed that the human soul was a divine spark, a fragment of the gods themselves. This divine spark was thought to be trapped within the physical body, and through ritual sacrifice, it could be freed and returned to its divine source. This belief gave rise to the practice of human sacrifice, which was seen as a means of appeasing the gods and ensuring their favor. In other cases, the cults believed in a cosmology that was cyclic in nature. They saw the universe as a series of cycles, each one ending in a cataclysmic event that would wipe out the old world and give birth to a new one. These cycles were thought to be governed by the gods, and human sacrifice was a way of maintaining the balance and staving off the end of the cycle. The cults also held a profound belief in the power of symbolism and ritual. They saw the world as a complex web of interconnected symbols, each one imbued with hidden meanings and mystical power. By performing certain rituals and sacrifices, they believed that they could tap into this power and manipulate the forces of the universe. These beliefs were not merely abstract concepts, but a fundamental part of their worldview. They shaped their understanding of humanity's place in the cosmos and guided their actions. And though these beliefs may seem alien, even abhorrent to us today, they were a manifestation of the human desire to understand and control the world around us. These ancient cults, with their complex belief systems and ritual practices, offer a fascinating glimpse into the human psyche. They remind us that our understanding of the world is shaped by our beliefs, and that these beliefs can drive us to commit acts that may seem unthinkable to others. They serve as a stark reminder of the power of belief and the lengths to which humans will go to uphold their convictions. As we delve further into the implications of these ancient human sacrifice cults on today's world, it's important to discern the thin line between influence and coincidence. There are those who argue that the symbols, rituals, and even the ideological frameworks of these ancient cults have permeated into the structures of modern society. The notion of sacrifice, for instance, remains a potent one in many aspects of our world. In politics, leaders often talk about the need for sacrifice to achieve national goals. And in economies, the principle of sacrifice now for greater gain later is a fundamental tenet of investment and saving strategies. In religion, the theme of sacrifice, symbolic or otherwise, is pervasive. Christianity, for instance, revolves around the ultimate sacrifice, that of Jesus Christ for the sins of humanity. In Hinduism, the ritual of yajna or sacrifice is considered an important duty. Even in secular contexts, the concept of sacrificing time, resources, or personal comfort for a greater good is widely accepted and celebrated. Moving beyond the concept of sacrifice, the belief in metaphysical cycles, which was fundamental to many of these cults, has echoes in various philosophical and religious doctrines today. The idea of reincarnation in Eastern philosophies, the concept of the wheel of time in various indigenous cultures, and even the modern scientific theory of cyclical universes all echo this ancient belief in cycles of creation and destruction. The symbolism and ritualistic practices employed by these ancient cults also seem to have permeated into modern society. Symbols from these ancient cults have been adopted, consciously or unconsciously, in various forms of media, from movies and books to video games and music videos. Ritualistic practices, meanwhile, form the cornerstone of many religious and secular ceremonies. It's intriguing to consider the possibility that these symbols and rituals have been passed down through the centuries, subtly influencing our culture and belief systems. Are these mere coincidences, or could they be remnants of these ancient cults, lingering in our collective consciousness? However, it's crucial to approach these conjectures with a healthy dose of skepticism. It's easy to draw parallels between ancient and modern practices, but proving a direct line of influence is a much more complex task. The human mind is pattern-seeking, and sometimes we may see connections where none exist. Regardless, exploring the possible influences of these ancient cults on our modern world offers a fascinating perspective on the continuity of human beliefs and practices, and the enduring power of the ideas that shape our understanding of the cosmos. As we delve deeper into the realm of the ancient sacrificial cults, we encounter the murkier waters of extreme theories and speculation. Some of these ideas stretch the bounds of conventional thinking and veer into the realms of the occult, mind control, mass manipulation, and even extraterrestrial origins. Let's first explore the notion of occult rituals. The word occult comes from the Latin occultus, which means hidden or secret. The idea here is that these ancient sacrificial practices were not merely acts of devotion or attempts to appease deities, but were, in fact, carefully orchestrated rituals designed to tap into hidden, supernatural powers. Some theorists suggest that the specific steps followed in these rituals, the symbols used, and the timing of the sacrifices were all crucial components in unlocking these occult forces. Next, we have the theory of mind control and mass manipulation. It suggests that the high priests or leaders of these cults used the ritual of human sacrifice as a tool to maintain control over their followers. The psychological impact of witnessing such a violent and dramatic act, accompanied by the fear of potentially being chosen as the next sacrifice, could have been a potent method of reinforcing obedience and devotion. Then, there is the theory of extraterrestrial origins. This theory posits that the rituals and practices of these ancient cults were not born out of human imagination, but were instead taught to our ancestors by extraterrestrial beings. Some proponents of this theory point to ancient texts and artifacts that seem to depict beings from other planets or star systems, suggesting that these entities were the true gods that these cults were trying to appease with their sacrifices. Finally, there is a theory that these ancient cults were part of a global network of similar groups, all following the same rituals and practices. This theory, often associated with the idea of an ancient global civilization, suggests that these cults were not isolated phenomena, but were interconnected parts of a larger worldwide tradition of human sacrifice. Each of these theories, as outlandish as they may seem, adds another layer of intrigue to the enigma of the ancient sacrificial cults. While they may challenge our conventional understanding of history, they also invite us to ponder the mysteries of our past and to consider the possibility that there may be more to these ancient practices than meets the eye. As we continue to investigate, it becomes clear that the story of human sacrifice in the ancient world is far from fully told. As we draw this exploration to a close, we are left with more questions than answers. The ancient sacrificial rites continue to cast long, enigmatic shadows over our understanding of the past. These shadows are filled with uncertainties and unanswered queries that continue to ignite our curiosity and fuel our search for knowledge. Could there be an underlying truth to the theory of mind control and mass manipulation? Was human sacrifice indeed a tool wielded by the powerful to control the masses? The rituals, the fear, and the devotion they inspired all seem to suggest a potential strategy of control. But then again, would such a brutal and horrifying method be sustainable over centuries, across cultures, and through the rise and fall of civilizations? The answer remains elusive. The theory of extraterrestrial origins, while fascinating, is also fraught with uncertainties. Could our ancestors have been in contact with beings from another planet or star system? Could these entities have influenced the rituals and practices of these ancient cults? The evidence is sparse and speculative, primarily relying on interpretations of ancient texts and artifacts. Yet the possibility is tantalizing and continues to draw researchers and enthusiasts alike. And what about the theory of a global network of similar groups? Could these ancient sacrificial cults, scattered across different parts of the world, have been interconnected? Was there an ancient global civilization that practiced human sacrifice as part of a larger, worldwide tradition? The evidence for such a civilization is, at best, controversial. Yet the similarities in the rituals and practices of these cults, despite their geographical distance and cultural differences, raise intriguing questions. Despite extensive research and exploration, the ancient practice of human sacrifice and the cults that perform these rituals remain shrouded in mystery. Some of these secrets might never be fully uncovered, forever hidden in the sands of time. The evidence that survives, while intriguing, is often ambiguous, open to interpretation, and raises as many questions as it provides answers. The human sacrifice cults of the ancient world serve as a stark reminder of the complexities of our past. They challenge us to confront the dark corners of human history, to question, to speculate, and to continually seek understanding. They invite us to ponder the mysteries of our ancestors, the rituals they performed, and the gods they sought to appease. They remind us that history is not just a record of what we know, but also a testament to the mysteries that remain unknown. In the end, perhaps it is these unanswered questions, these lingering mysteries, that make the study of our past so endlessly fascinating. As we continue to delve into the depths of history, we are reminded that every answer we find often leads to a new question, a new mystery, a new journey into the unknown. And so, our exploration continues, ever deeper into the shadows of the past, ever closer to the secrets that lie buried beneath the sands of time. Thanks for listening. This has been Cults and Secret Societies. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.